The opinions expressed by the host and guest on this program are solely their own and do not represent the views or opinions of Blind United. We strive to provide diverse perspectives and discussions on our platform, but the opinions expressed should be understood as personal viewpoints and not reflective of Blind United as an organization.
Let's get ready to rumble! Y'all ready for this?
Well, good Thursday morning, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Blind Talk Time. Oh, my goodness, I'm all messed up this morning. Welcome to another edition of Coffee Time with Blind United. So, sorry about that. We do a thing on Tuesday night we call Talk Time. So, on our Zoom platform. So. That's where I get mixed up. But anyway, it is Thirsty Thursday, and we've got a Thirsty Thursday show lined up for you. It's got a little information for you that might tantalize your taste buds. So stay tuned for that. Let me get into, we have one interest group for today, and that would be Let's Talk Spanish with Mr. Jesus Bautista. That's going to be at 5 o'clock today. Normally that's at 5:30, but we moved it up a little bit. I'm going to be honest, because of the debate. I want to see the debate, so we're going to do that a little bit early. And that way I can pay attention to what's going on with these candidates. But yeah, Mr. Bautista, he's doing a great job. He's helping everybody learn how to speak conversational Spanish. I mean, you're learning the alphabet, you're learning the vowel sounds and all that kind of good stuff. But from that point on, it's more about trying to learn the various phrases, common responses, kind of stuff like that. So it's a pretty good class. So come in, check us out, 5 p.m. Pacific time. Mr. Bautista, he's in El Paso, so he'll be coming in at 6 p.m. his time. So, but anyway, come on out, check us out, and maybe learn a couple phrases. So, on that note, everybody good? Everybody had a good Wednesday, hump day? I know you've been MIA on me a couple of days, Pedro.
Yeah, I've been on Wayfinders. They just extended my my training. They tell me I'm ahead, but they're going to try to teach me intermediate. And I think they're trying to get some lessons and plan ready because they ain't ready for me. I ask too many questions.
Well,
But so I've been doing that and working with the department, trying to get some transportation things done. But, I got to keep pushing them. I got to give them an earful sometimes.
I got to be your own best self-advocate. So, so how was your Wednesday, Britt? You enjoyed the rest of your day?
Yeah, no, my Wednesday was good. I'm also reopening my case, getting all my paperwork together.
Okay.
Oh, great.
Get back in there and continue your education while you got time, sweetie. You know what I'm saying? And all that good stuff. So rehab, that's what they're there for. And on that note, tomorrow is actually Greg's group. For those that don't know, we actually have a DOR counselor that comes in, and I mean, he's one of us. He actually went to training center with me, so very good friend of mine. But he is now a DOR counselor, and he understands, the trials and tribulations of going through Department of Rehab and all the red tape and whatever stuff can possibly get put in the way and barriers and whatnot. But Greg will make sure you understand how to ensure that you're following your goal plan. You know what I'm saying? And not something that they want to give you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they may tell you, oh, well, that's not feasible for a blind person. Well, okay, well, that's not your choice to make. I mean, I'm not asking to fly an airplane. I mean, I get that I can't do that, but there's many other things I can do that are my goal, it's my passion, my desire. So you can't just sit there and try to send me to call center training. Want to give me one of them kind of jobs or whatever when I want to do something more professional. So, but Greg will help you out with all that. He tells you how to get around all that red tape and all that good stuff. So, got any questions about your case or how you work through difficulties you may be having with your DOR counselor? Greg is your man. He's here to answer all those kind of questions. So that is tomorrow at 2 p.m. Pacific time. So come check him out. He's on every fourth Friday of the month. So again, 2 p.m. Come check him out. And then what else we got? I know later on we got the movie. I'm trying to remember. Don't we have something before the movie, Brittany? I can't remember.
We have Hang Out with Ed on Friday at 5. No, I'm just playing. I don't know. We don't have anything.
Ed was like, what?
When did that come about? But we do have movie night, and that is at 6 o'clock. So come check us out. Brittany has chosen a movie this week. We will be watching The Fifth Element.
Ooh.
So
a classic right there.
Yeah, it's a really good movie. I like Bruce Willis and Chris Tucker. They play some hell of a parts in that movie. I mean, everybody there. I don't think there was a bad actor in there, but and then I really like old girl, the lady that does the singing, that's the featured artist that when they get to whatever that.
Oh, that Opera Planet or something like that.
Yeah,
the underwater people.
Well, no, they're not underwater. They're up in the sky. Is actually where they are.
Oh shit.
But she does, like you said, an opera thing. Pedro, I don't know if you know, but she's actually an opera artist.
Oh wow, okay.
She brought that style of music that she does in there, where she's kind of like it's opera, but it's got a little jazzy thing to it. You know what I'm saying? Where she makes her voice jump around. Yeah, she brought that to the opera stage. So she's an amazing singer. So, but anyway, that's a good movie. So come on, check it out. Get your
popcorn ready.
Popcorn, plenty of butter. You know what I'm saying? Your favorite beverage or whatever it is. I mean, you can do a dinner in a movie if you want to. I don't care. Just come do the movie with us. That's what's happening.
Yeah,
so.
I might have to hop in Greg's class and take some pointers down, probably ask a few questions, because I do have a case open, and so get some information, guys, and it's brought to you free from Blind United. So come
everything
join us.
We do is free, man. So.
It's free 99, y'all. Come take advantage of it.
Free 99. So yeah, I mean, whatever we're doing, whether it's the JAWS training or Pedro's tech training or the AI training,
JAWS.
JAWS. I mean, all of that, George, with all his little special tips and tricks. And
I also include like Victor Reader training. I've done a few of those. I'm thinking of displaying the AuraCam for those that have an AuraCam. But I try to keep it within general devices we use. For example, like the iPhone, and the iPhone could do everything what your Victor reader can do, and now you could even lock those apps that you jog down notes or voice notes or whatever it may be. So just remember that a Victor
Wow.
reader and all that is not password protected and nothing. So I know,
Well, the
you know,
lockdown's coming with iOS 18, correct?
yeah, a
Yeah,
lockdown thing where you could lock
yeah,
down a lot of applications. So that's pretty
yeah.
dope. I always wanted that, you know.
Well, don't nobody mess with my phone, so I ain't worried about it. But I mean, I get it. Who was that? Oh, so, who was that? We have a mutual friend. No, he can't touch my phone no more. I ain't
Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm.
throwing no names out there, but yeah, y'all be doing a lot on your phone, so you got to keep them locked up. Otherwise, you might all your little stuff will fall out the closet. So
Yeah, but that aside, it's not only that. I have intellectual properties that I don't want to get out just in case because they're not copyrighted or they're not even in their BMI or SANSCAP stuff, you know?
right, right, right.
Yeah, so having protective like my files app. If I could protect the folders in there or just protect the whole app, I'd be pretty good. You know what I mean? You know, sometimes you do have work and documents you don't want people to have, you know,
Right.
just and you want to have those on lockdown.
Well, I mean, I understand. Who was that? Wasn't it? Correct me if I'm wrong, Pedro. You would definitely know him better than me. Was it the one rapper? What was it, Soldier Boy? They said he did his first album completely on his iPhone from his
Mm,
college dorm. It was somebody. I thought it was Soldier Boy.
there's
Uh,
been a couple rappers that done that. Soldier Boy kind of came in the scene with his Soldier Boy dance. He had a whole dance in a video and all that when he kind of sprung out on the scene.
okay. Well,
Yeah, but
I just remember somebody supposedly did, their whole thing on their iPhone, and
Crank
you
that
know,
Soldier Boy. I don't know.
yeah,
yeah,
crank that Soldier Boy. There you go. Brittany knows the song.
okay, that was the video that you were speaking of, I guess.
That he came with a
Uh,
whole little dance and he kind of had a video set and all that popping. And, you know, he was kind of the ones that he kind of brought that dancing thing to the scene with the video and an artist dancing real, you know, on a hip hop scene.
so what, like the Cupid Shuffle kind of theme or kind of stuff, just bringing
Yeah,
that
yeah,
kind of
but like
stuff.
for like a male artist in hip hop, you know?
Okay, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, bringing that again, the dance thing to the hip hop genre. I mean, there's always been
It, yeah, it's been
dances
there.
associated with music.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Specialty dancers, I should say, right? I mean,
Yeah.
he goes back what even Chubby Checkers and Do the Twist, and
Yeah.
you laughing, but he was one of the first ones. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah, yeah. He had that in his mind, like have a catchy song with a dance and to
right,
hook them. Like he was onto that.
right, right, right. And
And then
they even
uh
had another one. What was it? Where they had like Boris Karloff in there, and they were talking about Do the Monster Mash. Boris Karloff was in that. So. Uh,
okay. Yeah, and I know like Russ, this rapper Russ, he did some of his songs on a garage, not even in a studio, in a garage on a or like that, and got good recording. So it all depends if you got a good team, a master engineer, a good mixer, and stuff like that. You're able to accomplish things, you know.
right.
And the technology has been improving and improving, so you could even connect interface straight to your phone or straight on your computer. You don't even need power supplies now, you know. Sometimes
Right. Well,
yeah, so you could set up portable is what I call it, a portable studio. I have a portable setup myself. Like right now, that's what I'm using. It was for my music, but I popped it up right now just because I forgot my headset. But I think I sound better on this mic because it's a different type of mic.
I mean, you sound fine. So, again, everything we do on Blind United Interest Groups is free. So, if you want to learn how to set up your own portable studio, come check out Pedro on the first and third Wednesdays of every month. at 7 p.m. And he'll teach you something new and exciting every week. So,
Yeah,
uh,
I do know a lot about everything, guys. I know sometimes I concentrate on iPhones, but most of us do have iPhones. But I know some of us would like to start podcast or other type of content creation. So I do a lot, even on music production and music, mixing music. I do my own. I'm actually an artist, so I do my whole own distribution and everything. You
right.
could catch me out there on Apple Music and stuff like that. So I have knowledge from all over the place. I love technology. So I get into AI. I get into all types of different technologies and like to try them out, to see. I just like to see, you know what I mean? I know the new little thing that's been hitting a little bit on the blind community, the Meta glasses. I don't know if y'all heard of these Meta glasses.
Been seeing a lot of stuff lately where folks are turning their metas back in.
And due to what?
I mean, it's not the sound quality. Number one, just the restrictions on it. Because I mean, you can't. Again, the community wants a pair of wearables that they can just connect to their phone and use whatever app on their phone. Meta. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
they worked something out where you can do Ira. I, I don't know if you can do like Be My Eyes with it and stuff like that, but other than that, it's mostly Meta stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You
You be
know,
live streaming. You have like a half hour live streaming. Look, I thought it would be dope for video content. As I talked to one of my friends, he has a pair, and he tells me you only could get 1 minute of recording on those glasses before
that
you.
ain't good.
That ain't good. I didn't
So
ask
then
him
what's
the.
the point of the glasses then? Because I thought the whole point was for video content, like content creation.
That's what I thought, and I was giving him the. I was telling him so because I wanted to see if they will be beneficial, right? I don't know. I would have to ask him because I believe if you record in 4K, yes, it will die like in a minute or two. Because this glasses, come on, let's be real. How many batteries can they fit in there? But if it's 1080, if we turn it down to 1080 extreme, and then most likely it is at 1080, it wouldn't be beneficial for someone like myself that records content. And sometimes I record minutes at a time, 10 to 20, an hour. Last time I recorded 2 hours. But I break it down into slits because sometimes the files get big. But that aside, 1 minute of video is just a quick little short, you know.
Right.
You could
And
live stream on Instagram and live stream on Facebook, but that's about pretty much it. And then you could ask it, Meta, what's in front of me? And I have not used it to the extent that I could put it to trials, that I could feel that put it through the test. Because I would ask, Meta, what's in front of me? And I need you to describe a path because that's what I'm looking for. And let's see if it's AI or system, because I don't know if you're using AI on board or connecting to your phone and then connecting to AI on their network, will come back with an accurate answer. I could tell it what's in front of me, but if I can't follow it up or I can't query it like I could do Be My Eyes, then I'm walking a step backwards. I
right,
walk
I
one
agree.
step, yeah, I walk one step forward, but I walk one step back in the same time. Basically didn't
Uh,
even move. Because if I could ask it what's in front of me and I'm looking for a path, can you let me know how to, what objects are in my way and things like that? Then that'd be pretty dope. I haven't checked that part out of them, but I
well,
don't see.
I forget what they
Hmm.
call it, but within the glide, they're calling that like a route found or something like that. So like when you bend the corner,
Hmm.
then the device would automatically, take in everything in front of it and plot a route through, whatever obstacles may be in front of you, whether they're
Yeah.
actual obstacles or people or whatever the case may be.
Yeah,
So,
I hope it would do that. That's what we're paying for that device. If you are
yeah,
purchasing that device,
yeah.
it should do
So,
that automatically without us stressing about that. Now, um, I don't know what type of AI does it use. If it links up to a
he's
private
building
AI,
his, no, he's doing his own model.
okay,
He's doing his own
through
model through, I mean, again, remember, this is the same guy that
yes,
worked on a Soundscape, you
hmm
know. So I mean, he's got a lot of that knowledge, and his team, if we want to go there, I mean, they're all into electronics and all that kind of stuff. So they're making sure that they have their own thing. Again, this is something new. That's another reason why they're doing these demo days and stuff right now.
hmm
Because they're gathering data, by going out, like they'll be at the convention for anybody to be at either one of the conventions this upcoming week in Florida, whether it's NFB or ACB, they will be at both conventions. So at the NFB convention, they're actually going to have a private room. So they'll have their table in the exhibit hall, but right outside the room that they have, you can go in there and you can book you a demo time, and then you come back at that time and go in the room, and then you can work it out. You know what I'm saying, and get the feel for what it does and all that stuff. But again,
hmm
it's now gathering all that data, just like he was saying the other day. You know, when it first comes out, it might be a little sluggish. It's going to have a lot of information in it, but as we use it, it's not only learning our habits, but it's going to accumulate data from all the other devices as well. You
yes,
know, so I mean, it's going to be constantly learning. Just like one guy was asking about, well, what about when I'm out in the snow? Well, I mean, again, they haven't tested it there yet, so they don't have a lot of data on that. So I mean, one thing that they're going to do is have wheels that are interchangeable, so you can. I don't know what the whole wheels are going to do. Maybe it's a bigger wheel or something. I don't know. Just to
hmm
be able to get through, the thick snow or whatever the case may be. But uh, again, next year, I mean, again, it won't be out till actually next year. But you imagine the following year, it's going to have a lot more data on how to deal with that snow.
yeah.
So they'll be able to work a lot of that stuff out. So again, they're building their own AI model just for this kind of stuff. So I'm looking forward to it. That's all I can
hmm
say. I'm looking forward to it. So,
Man, it's gonna be difficult navigating through snow. Um,
well, it's
and
difficult navigating through snow now. I mean,
yeah.
like my buddy lives in Idaho. So when he first moved to Idaho, they weren't getting a lot of snow, right? So they sold off all of their plows and to clear the streets and all that kind of stuff, right? Well, the thing that supposedly is not happening is now dumping snow on them, and they don't have no way to clear the snow because they done sold all their equipment. And like he said, just
Mm,
trying to walk down the street with a cane and get through that snow, it's mission impossible.
hmm
You can't find that. As folks call it shorelining. I call it trailing. Trailing an edge, whatever. But you can't find that shoreline. You can't find the grass line. You can't find the fence line. It's just the snow is there. It's just everywhere. You can't find the edge of the sidewalk. So
hmm
it's crazy. So, but again, once people start using it in that environment, it's gonna it's gonna develop techniques and whatever it needs to get through that stuff. So,
Yes, yes, yes. And with all technology, it just improves and gets better, guys. This looks promising, guys. You know, but as some people will be like, oh, I don't want to go to O&M training. I just want to grab one of these devices and be all set. It's not that easy, guys. Remember, it uses a battery. Nothing beats a cane. Also, when you need to cross the street and touch that curb, don't look like a dummy and try to pull out your foot and be trying to touch the curb with your foot and the car trying to turn. It's like, what is this dude doing? You could easily just pop out your cane, touch the curb, and be sad. All them skills come in handy. To get
Right.
around. There's nothing to replace those
Darn,
skills
I thought I was
because
gonna use AI to replace my O&M skills.
Well, I mean, again, I'm talking a lot about Glide because I have bought into it. I'm what they're calling a founding glider. So I'm locked in. I get what $600 off of the cost.
Mhm.
I also get my the data package. The subscription. I'm getting the first 3 months of that for free. I'm getting discounts on a lot of stuff by doing this early. So but anyway, they were talking about that is a thing. So like when you're crossing the street, it's going to take you straight to the curb, then it's going to put the brakes on, let you know you're at the curb, and then it'll turn sideways, so the wheels will just make the device turn sideways, so you're sitting against the curb. Now all you got to do is step up and pick the device up and set it on the curb for those that don't have the cutouts. They're teaching it how to identify the curb cutouts so that when you're walking across the street, it'll take you right to that curb cutout.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
again, it's constantly learning. So
Oh,
I'm looking forward to it. I just want to be able to get off the train down there by my boy Pedro and El Monte,
El Monte. Yeah,
and
yeah.
okay, where's the exit? How do I get off the platform? You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah. Yeah, once Glide comes out with a platform I could jump on and it could just roll out, I'll buy one. Nah. But yeah, I might have to buy one too, but I didn't got into the early program and stuff. But that aside, it
Well,
looks pretty cool. It looks pretty dope.
they're starting pre-sale, so you got till the end of the month to get in as a founding glider
Mhm.
and lock in all the big discounts. If you wait till after the 1st of July, then I think it drops down to 30% on a pre-order.
Mm.
So something like that. But I mean, hey, I'm in. I done locked in now, so I think I have to pay it off by August, September this year is when I have to pay it off. So I'm good
Mm.
with it though. I'm good with it. I'll just put it on my credit card. By the time I get it in my hands, I'll be done paid for it. That's the way I'm looking at it anyway. $100 a month, I'll get it out the way. But
Yeah,
I
yeah.
definitely
But
want one.
yeah, that sounds pretty dope. On that note, good jump to a quick break and we'll be back, folks.
Feeling lucky? Join Blind United for a thrilling day at Viejas Casino and Resort. Slaw Machine. Mark your calendars for Friday, August 9th. We're rolling out from 2 locations, Montclair and Buena Park at 9 a.m. sharp, so don't be late. For just $21, you can enjoy a ride filled with fun, refreshments, and the chance to win big. Remember, space is limited, and the deadline for your payment is July 20th. All bookings are non-refundable after July 20th. Bring your poker face and your ID and get ready for a day of excitement and entertainment. No worries about the drive. We've got you covered. You can just relax there and back. Book your spot now. Contact Cheryl at 909-821-9589, see Thurston74@gmail.com, or Pedro at 323-631-2122, P. Aguilera at blindunited.org. Let's hit the jackpot together. You can sell your payments to Blind United Incorporated by using the email blindunited2022@gmail.com.
If you'd like to know more about Blind United, you can visit our website at blindunited.org. You can email us at info@blindunited.org. You can call us at 909-846-8825. You can follow us on Instagram at Blind United Interest Groups. You can follow us on X at Blind United 22. You can watch our YouTube channel, Blind United. You could join our Facebook group, Blind United Interest Groups, or you can follow our Facebook page, Blind United.
So what I've been doing as well is just a clarification on the bus. So we have, as you heard, 2 buses, one from Buena Park and the other one from Montclair. So in essence, we're covering 3 different counties by doing the 2 different locations. So if you are planning, if you would like to join us, which I hope you would, if you would like to join us and you live out, in southern LA, South Bay, northern Orange County area, then you would want to get on that bus in Buena Park and you would reach out to Pedro for that one. So if you want to get on the other bus in Montclair, so that's San Bernardino and LA County. So you can call Cheryl for that one. Now, if you're Spanish speaking only, you might not even understand what I'm saying right now, but if you want more information or whatever, you can call Pedro. Pedro does speak Spanish. My only request is if you call and you don't get an answer, please leave a message. Again, we all have other things going on in our life, so we may not be able to answer the phone exactly when you call. But if you leave a message, we will definitely reach right back out to you and make sure you get the information you need and get you booked in. Again, those seats are starting to sell. So again, they are limited. So if you would like to get on either one of those buses, please, please, please get in early, get it done. That way you're good. You get ready, you're going, and you can come hang out with us, maybe do a little gambling. You can run across the street, do a little shopping, whatever, as they say, or as I say, whatever floats your boat, So again, we're doing that on August the 9th. And again, that's a Friday. So we'll be leaving at 9 o'clock in the morning. Both buses will be leaving at the same time. You guys might get there just a little bit earlier than us, Pedro, just because you're a little bit further south than us. But we'll be right behind you, that's for sure. So, but anyway, race. Yeah, come and hang out with us, y'all. Go ahead, my brother.
No, I said it's a race.
I don't know. Maybe we'll take a little wager that day. Mm-hmm. I might have to slide a couple of dollars on my bus driver and have him drive a little faster.
Yeah, so moving along with these articles, guys, we have something I think some of y'all would like. I have an article about the 5 most wine questions answered from a common. I can't even say the word right now.
5 most commonly asked questions about wine.
There you go. Exactly. Thank you, Ed.
Your 5 most asked wine questions answered. Wine columnist Letty.
That didn't work out good.
Teague carries on a lively correspondence with her readers year-round. Here, 5 pressing questions with tips, strategies, and recommendations any enophile would welcome. In my 14-plus years of writing this column, I've discovered that Wall Street Journal readers are a truly engaged group of drinkers. And judging by the volume of emails I receive, they're also enthusiastic practitioners of the epistolary arts. Many of these reader notes contain personal stories or observations. Nearly all contain questions. I regularly field requests for wine recommendations, tips on wine destinations, and advice as to when a wine should be consumed or where a collection of bottles should be stored. Sometimes readers want my take on a particular wine they found and liked. Do I know it? Do I like it too? It's always a pleasure hearing from readers, and their questions have inspired many columns over the years. This week I'm featuring the following 5 questions among the hundreds I've fielded so far this year, in the hope that my answers will not only interest those who posed them, but other readers as well. I'm storing my wines in my closet. How long will they last? My answer will likely not please the surprisingly large number of people who have posed this question. Closets are fine for boots and coats, but they are airless and often too warm, and heat is the enemy of wine. I can't definitively say how long a bottle might last in such conditions because I have never kept my wine in a closet. I certainly sympathize with readers stuck with this storage situation. I had the same problem when I lived in an apartment in New York City. We didn't keep our wines in a coat closet. We didn't have one, but rather in the front hallway. This scenario, slightly better than a closet owing to better circulation of air, but far from ideal, lasted a few years until we moved to a house in the suburbs. I don't recall any overtly bad wines from those years, though I do recall a few reds tasting oddly like dust. In an ideal world, we would all have a wine fridge or a temperature-controlled cellar. Obviously, that's not realistic for everyone. Barring those options, choose a spot as dark and cool as possible, with good ventilation and no major temperature fluctuations throughout the day or the year. Are there any good box wines? First of all, box wine is a bit of a misnomer, as the box usually contains a plastic bag that actually holds the wine. I don't drink much wine from boxes, partly because the boxes are so big. The standard 3-liter carton equals 4 bottles of wine. This makes box wine best for a big party or someone who likes to drink the same wine over and over and over again. Furthermore, the wines I like best, sea white, Burgundy, aren't widely available in boxes. And I've always had trouble with the box's pesky plastic spout. Invariably, I end up pouring wine on the floor. I did, however, source a couple of box wines I can recommend, both well-made and well-priced. Boda Box Sauvignon Blanc, $14, is a soft, fruity, easy-drinking white made from Chilean fruit and produced by Napa-based Delicato family wines. La Vie Firme Rose Vin de France, $14, a dry, snappy pink, is produced by the esteemed Perrin family of Chateau de Beaucastel fame. This blend of Grenache, Cinsault, and Syrah, simple but refreshing, is a great pool party drink. Freshness is key when it comes to wine, in a plastic bag, in a box. Boda wines carry the date the wine was packaged on the box's bottom panel, but it takes a bit of decoding. A Boda Box spokesperson explained to me what the different numbers mean. The first starts with an L, that's the lot number, line, minute, and hour. The second is the date on which the wine was packaged, starting with the last 2 numbers of the year, followed by the day. For example, 24169 would mean the wine was packaged in 2024 on the 169th day of the year. Happily, La Vie Firme boxes state packaging dates clearly on the side. My recent purchase said April 26, 2024. According to Famille Perrin CEO Marc Perrin, the wine is re-released several times during the year to avoid sleeping inventory. What's the best universal wine glass? There is no best wine glass. The best glass is one that you like and can afford, and that enhances your enjoyment of a wine. Because my father was in the glass business, and because I'm a wine columnist, I happen to own many different types of wine glasses. I reserve my Zalto glasses for special occasions and special wines. They are delicate and pricey, $80 a piece or more. For everyday drinking, Riedel Magnum Overture glasses are my all-purpose choice. Machine-made, with a fairly generous bowl, they're like a cross between a Bordeaux glass and Burgundy balloon. And they cost around $20 a glass. According to Riedel CEO Maximilian Riedel, his father, George Riedel, created the Magnum Overture in 1989 as an entry-level glass for new wine consumers as well as hotels and restaurants. It might seem at odds with the company's mission to produce a different wine glass for seemingly every grape in existence, but George Riedel was a smart businessman. He knew that most drinkers are likely to use one type for all of their wines. This glass was made for them. Can you recommend a good drink-by guide? Just about every beginner's wine book or wine rating guide seems to have a section advising would-be enophiles to keep an eye on the drinking window of their wine. the time within which it should be consumed. It's usually a spread of several years during which the wine should be in perfect balance, not too young and not too old. One of my favorite sources for such information, and more besides, is CellarTracker.com. In this online forum, serious enophiles post thoughts on wines they've tried. I find the tasting notes from this highly knowledgeable group an invaluable guide, notably when it comes to determining when a wine is ready to open. With tens of millions of tasting notes on the site, chances are very good a member will have written a note on a wine you're thinking of opening, noting how it tastes, but also, crucially, how well it is aging and how long it is likely to drink well. Have you ever tried Bon Vivant Brut? I'm frequently asked if I've tried a particular wine, and quite often the answer is no, perhaps because the wine is one a reader tasted while traveling abroad, or simply because there are so many wines in the world. Over and over again, readers mention the Bon Vivant Brut, a sparkling wine from California. Many note that they purchased their bottles at Wegmans supermarkets, though this wine is not a Wegmans exclusive according to a Wegmans spokesperson I talked to. I did find a bottle of Bon Vivant Brut at my local Wegmans, priced at $20. Its label described the wine as crisp and elegant, with a hint of spiciness and full fresh finish. Alas, my own tasting notes are quite different, shrill acidity, with sour green apple and odd metallic notes. Fortunately, I bought another California sparkling wine that same day from a wine shop nearby for almost the same price. The Chandon Brut, $21, proved a delicious contrast to the Bon Vivant, and it's widely available, too. A creamy Chardonnay-dominant champagne method sparkling wine, it's definitely one I would buy again and recommend without reservation to Bon Vivant fans. Email Letty at wine@wsj.com. Now back to the coffee time crew.
Well, I'm going to bow out of this one because I don't drink wine. I don't know nothing about wine.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was a teenager, we used to drink wine just for the buzz, but it wasn't none of these kind of wines. So I don't know, Britt, what you think, baby? You are a wine expert in the room.
I am not a wine expert, but I think it gave some pretty good tips, and yeah, I really enjoyed that article.
Yeah. Gave a good tips on where not to store your wine. I do have some wines actually right there. I'm not too much of a wine person. I know my sister is and stuff like that, but they have different wines for different meals and stuff like that. Wines that go with a dessert and things like that. So different wines for different occasions. Reds, I forgot for what. Whites is for more dinner or something. I forgot. But you have to build up your wine palate and taste, and then gravitate to the type of wine you like. I like more of a fruity, sweet wine. I don't like the bitter taste of some. I had um I had wine with brandy. It was a brandy wine. It was pretty good. It had a kick to it too, so you know. But
Well, on that note, a lot of people don't realize that brandy is a wine.
okay.
Actually, your brandy and your cognacs, those are actually wine. They're not, they're not like whiskey and gin and vodka. They're actually made from fruit.
Okay.
So,
And
well,
when and
you'll learn more about that in the other article if we get to that one.
yeah, if we get to that one should be coming. But Ed was already reading them, I guess. I was like, Ed is turning into a wine expert all of a sudden.
Well, no, I mean, my father used to drink cognac, and he's the one that explained to me that they're actually a wine, you know, and it's actually made to be drank warm. Like when you drink a cognac or a brandy, you're actually supposed to drink it at what they call a brandy sniffer. And it's actually the sifter, or whatever they call that glass. It's actually supposed to be warm. It's supposed to be warmed up when you put the cognac brandy in it. So it's kind of
now I
different.
want to try. Now I want to try. I'm like,
Okay, so, but again, it is from the wine family. So,
okay. Okay. All right. Watch that. Okay. Yeah. And I know we do have a lot of folks that listen and like their wine. So I thought it would have been a great article for them. I
and
didn't.
let's not forget, it is Thirsty Thursday. So,
It is Thirsty Thursday at that. And you heard in the article what they said about the wine drinking glasses?
yeah,
Oh my.
$80 for a glass. Come on, man. I mean,
That's on the cheaper end.
right. No, I'm good. I'm sorry. I'll drink mine out of a paper cup if I have to. I don't care. But
Oh, it's gonna deplete the taste though.
no,
Give me a glass cup.
well, again, it just, again, people have their own preferences. I'm not drinking it for the taste. I'm drinking it for the buzz. You know, I mean, again, wine. I'm not going to get into. Oh, it's got apple in it. It's got a little wood chip in it. It's got some
hmm
spices in it. I'm not finna break it down. You know,
Well, I have some like liqueur that is that has flavor. Some has peanut butter. Some
well,
has some.
that's a whole nother
Ooh.
category, though, right?
hmm
Liqueur is a whole nother category. Was it Grand Marnier, which is the orange?
Yeah, and I
Uh,
like to sip those and taste those, but wine is not my thing. Even drinking is not my thing, but sometimes if I get a good liqueur that I could just sip on them, like the custard chocolate or something like that. I
Well,
like
that's
that all
another
the
thing. A
time.
lot of people don't realize Kahlua. If I remember right, Kahlua is actually a liqueur.
hmm
Again, you got what is it? The grenadine. That's a liqueur.
Mm.
I mean,
Okay.
a lot of times they use the liqueurs as just something to add a little extra flavor to whatever the drink is.
Yeah.
So like for instance, you can get an example, what is it? A screwdriver, which is orange juice and vodka, right? You
hmm
put a little Grand Marnier in there, which has the orange flavor as well. It just enhances the taste of that screwdriver.
This is tips brought to you by Ed. But yes, I understand what you're saying. Yeah. So, I know people prefer wine and for certain things. But man, they got all types of different wine and palettes and oh my God. So, it's a lot. It's a lot,
so,
you know.
well,
But
after might as well get into this other one. We got 12 minutes, so we should be able to get through it and comment on it a little bit.
all right. So just like the previous one, this one's about bourbon. Let's get into it.
Your next investment bourbon should be a brandy. Prices for rare whiskey have gotten out of hand.
What's going on?
Here's where the next great value lies. Bourbon collectors, I feel your pain. What was once a niche hobby for booze geeks has become a forbiddingly expensive and competitive endeavor, what with the annual Pappy Van Winkle lotteries and heist. And secondary markets where a $2,000 bottle of 20-year Eagle Rare can leap to $14,000 in just 5 years. Still, if you love the hunt for artisanal, rare spirits, have you considered pivoting from grains to grape? The warmth and woodsy flavors of single barrel, full-strength cognac and Armagnac can closely resemble the taste of bourbon at a more attainable price point. Folks who've had the opportunity to taste these bottles notice, wow, there's that concentration, that similar profile of combining fruit and structure from the wood, says Greg Farron, co-founder of new importer Bien Oliva in Washington, D.C. Some vintage brandy can compare in flavor to Glut-era bourbon, he says, referring to the 1970s to early 90s period when distillers cleared out older, languishing whiskey stock under younger labels. Bien Oliva joins established importers PM Spirits and Charles Neal Selections, plus upstarts such as Bacta Spirits, from the founder of Whistle Pig Whiskey. As part of an expanding network of bottlers and retailers working with aficionados to build a ground floor for collecting these complex liquors. Their biggest obstacle? The French. See, when it comes to investment bourbon, what's most sought after are single vintage bottles, ideally single barrel, bottled at cask strength, offering a premium of intensity and purity and rarity, traceable to a specific location and point in time. But that's exactly the opposite of how French brandy is traditionally produced. Distillers at major cognac houses such as Hennessy and Courvoisier believe the beauty of their craft lies in artful blending. They lock up Eau de Vie, Uniged spirit distilled from grapes, from hundreds of growers to do so. There are strict brandy-making rules around grape varietals, distillation, and minimum aging time in oak barrels, but blending isn't actually a prerequisite. I'm French, so I can say this. The French feel they are the guardians of a tradition, which makes them not innovate whatsoever, says PM Spirits founder Nicolas Palazzi, one of the first importers to bring unblended, collector bait brandy to the U.S. The cognac region, Palazzi says, is particularly disincentivized to put out the kind of artisanal spirits that U.S. buyers are clamoring for. If a producer decides to set aside a barrel for aging as a vintage cognac, a member of the Bureau National Interprofessionnel du Cognac, BNEC, must be present for its sealing. To open that cask for any reason, including if it's leaking or damaged, they need to pay for another inspector to come out and oversee the breaking of the wax seal. Steve Urey, a well-known former bourbon blogger, takes a cynical view of the Kentucky Gold Rush, so he turned his gaze toward France. He says his steadily growing Facebook group, Serious Brandy, now counts more than 3,000 members. He says American buyers have had to train smaller brandy producers to fill the desire gap between collectors and the conglomerates. Their first instinct was, you blend everything, you water it down to 40%. That's what people want, Urey says. And we had to go and say, no, that's not what we want. We want to see those barrels. Just put them in a bottle. We don't need you to do anything else. Pull quote, there are casks all over the place, all over France, sitting in garages and sheds. Cognac houses Pasquet and Gros Perrin are among producers that have gotten the memo, as well as Lencantida Armagnac, he says, which can be very bourbon-like. It's dark and oaky because they don't do as much treatment to it. They just sort of leave it in the barrel. Reed Bechtel, a collector in Virginia, agrees. He was so enchanted when first tasting Lencantida Armagnacs in 2015 that he and fellow members of his private whiskey club, 1789B, which buys whole barrels of spirits, foresaw the untapped demand and purchased 3 on the spot. Now, he says, Lencantida's fame has grown, and its small batch, orange wax-topped bottles command such a cult following that it's often impossible to find at retail. What we used to buy for $60 is now $300. For your own collection, this month PM Spirits is releasing a Lencantida Discovery Box, $211, featuring 200 milliliter independent bottlings of brandy distilled by 3 different domains over 3 different decades, 1999, 2001, 2012. Dozens of years in barrel reveal beautiful tertiary aromas of dried citrus, tobacco, and resin. Cognac Frappin, a family-owned producer founded in 1270, focuses mostly on traditional aged blends, but it, too, is coming around, with help from Palazzi. A 1994 vintage released in May is a first for the Maison. Single estate, single cask, full proof. Balancing the richness of the wood with subtle orchard fruit, vanilla, and leather, it costs $265. Only 500 bottles were made. Similarly, Biennaliva imported a single cask 1967 cognac L'Érode Bones Bois, $640, perfumed with exotic spice and dried figs and elegantly rounded on the palate. It's become more of a focus in France, finally, for single-barrel picks, says Ferrin, the Biennalive co-founder. Just a dozen of the 132 bottles of the L'Érode Bones Bois were allocated to the U.S. I wouldn't be surprised if major producers started earmarking exceptional casks as well, given that collectible, traditional blends have stalled. The compound annual growth rate by volume of ultra-premium and above French brandy was down 2% globally from 2018 to 2023, compared with ultra-premium bourbon's 22% growth, according to IWSR, a global beverage alcohol data specialist. With French brandy, the extraordinary and extensive histories, over 700 years for Armagnac alone, and the tremendous ageability of these spirits, arguably far greater than most whiskeys, should mean that the possibilities for finding great spirits are near endless, says Nima Ansari, a buyer for Astor Wines and Spirits in New York who stocks about 20 bottles of boutique brandy. Cognac can age longer than bourbon or American rye because of a cooler climate and less char on what are usually older, larger barrels. But the ultimate factor may be the love of the hunt. As in the early days of searching for bourbon dusties on liquor store shelves, there's a sense of undiscovered treasure out there, if you know where to look and strike quickly when opportunities arise. If a vineyard hasn't pre-sold all its grapes to a brandy house, some farmers might have their own spirits distilled for consumption among friends and family or as an investment. Every farm is a potential producer, Yuri says. There's casks all over the place, all over France, sitting in garages and sheds. In other words, there's a lot of potential boutique brandy out there, and it's all rare. Consider, if an importer comes across the private stash of an elderly couple, buys it and releases 170 bottles, it might be all that family farm ever produces. For collectors who get a thrill from acquiring a truly one-of-a-kind spirit, it's tough to put a price on those bragging rights. At least for now, though, a couple $100 ought to do it. Now back to the coffee time crew.
See, so now this article is, I mean, you hear number one, what they're talking about switching from grain to grapes. That's letting you know, that it's, like you say, it's more wine-ish. But to me, the article was really more about investment. I mean, yeah, it's about the uniqueness of certain cognacs and brandies. But like you said, you're looking at, okay, you buy this here for $2,000 a bottle. Within 5 years, it's worth $14,000. That's more of an investment to me. So,
yeah, that's what the article was concentrating on a type of investment. But because that's what I guess what people are trying to do. Invest on bottles and then sell them later on.
Right.
But it kind of, for the people that love the taste and like to sit down and just have a premium one, it can discourage you somewhat because then bottles can get expensive.
Yeah, they can. Yes, they can. My son-in-law, he's a cognac connoisseur. He's got cognac from all over the world. I mean, he loves it. Now he done got into cigars, so as he said, ain't nothing like a good shot of some good cognac and a good cigar. You done came from Haiti to America, and now you done turned into a big old baller, what we want to call it, a critic, or cognac critic, and all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah.
But he's got some good stuff, man. I've drank some of his stuff with him. And and that's the thing, the more expensive the brandy cognac, the smoother it is. Just like like they say, whiskey and bourbon. The more expensive it is, the smoother it is. So if you want that good smooth stuff, you got to spend them big smooth dollars. So. And it's going to cost you more and more dollars. So, hey, if you can get in there. I like that one thing that they were talking about was $211. You get 200 shots, in essence, of 200 single-serve bottles.
Oh, yeah.
And it's from 3 different decades. So there's 3 different, age levels. That sounds pretty cool.
That does sound pretty good. You get a taste of the 90s, the 2000s,
Right. So, I mean, hey, but if that's your thing, hey, You just know it's going to cost. Now, wine can get just as expensive. You know, they got some high dollar bottles of wine too. So, you know, so I guess, yeah, on this Thursday, we talk about box wines and all the way up to the high dollar stuff, I guess, being the cognac and brandy stuff. So, whatever floats your boat, as I say. So, on that note, it's the end of our time with you guys today. I want to recognize Monica for dropping in on us, saying hello. I want to acknowledge everybody else that may come check us out later on. Please, please, please. If you do YouTube, run over there, so like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. We really appreciate it. We're getting quite a few views over there on a daily basis. So we really appreciate that. But if you're over on Facebook and you would like to have us be back on our page versus on my page, please run over to Blind United's Facebook page and follow us over there. And then as soon as we get those numbers up, we will quit going live on my page and go back to Blind United's page. So on that note, Pedro, Monica, I'm sorry, Brittany, y'all got anything before we bounce?
Get your drink of wine or brandy, whatever it may be, cognac for Thirsty Thursday. That's all.
Do your thing today. Britt, you good? Maybe we lost her. I don't know. But so on that note, yeah, we're good. Everybody, I hope you have a great Thirsty Thursday. Get your sip on. Come check us out at 5 o'clock. Learn a couple phrases, and then run over to your local CNN channel for those that are into it. Check out the debate today. You know, again, folks, just recognize this is probably one of the most important elections in our lifetime. Democracy is truly on the ballot. You know, so if you want to see the democracy continue, you got to do your part. So get out there, check, you know, and make sure you get registered, and please go get your vote. Cast your ballot and vote for your candidate, and let's keep this thing alive. We are an experiment. We must be doing something right because everybody else wants to do what we do. Everybody wants to come where we're at. So we must be doing something right. Let's not let it be taken over by somebody that wants to be a king, a monarchy, or whatever you want to call them. So, but on that note, everybody have a great Thursday. I appreciate everyone, and we will see you tomorrow, same time. And we'll have more stuff for you on that one. Have a great evening. Talk to you